Hello, beautiful humans. Good morning and welcome to your Woke Culture Daily for July 21st, Tuesday. We're going to follow our usual format. We're going to start with our air signs, then we're going to go into our water signs and our fire signs, and then our earth signs, and each sign gets a card. So we're going to ask Spirit to give us clear and direct guidance for all 12 signs for today's Spirit, July 21st. Anything that we need to know, anything of utmost importance, I ask that come to the forefront in this here reading. Always, I thank you in advance because I know you're good for it, Spirit. No, I'm saying. Let's see what's going on for today. I hope you guys had a dope Monday, you know what I'm saying? So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, and Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. At the bottom of our deck, this is interesting, we have caring connection in the reverse. Something I want to say about that, and I'm just going to say it really quick before we hop into Gemini. So with this particularly, I feel a theme on today for a lot of you is going to centralize around friendships, romantic partnerships. And one thing specifically I see with this is like codependency. So it's more or less coming into a realization of what a caring connection is, that in the past tense, not really experiencing that or realizing that connections that you run in the past weren't truly uplifting ones. And it's more or less like a liberation or a freedom from bondage in reference to either family, friendships, what have you. So starting with my Geminis, Gemini, ooh, okay. Gemini, you guys have man holding the heart. Now, I want to start with my Gemini males. For my Gemini males, the first impression I get with you guys, and this is interesting where this is going already, it's more or less a gentleman who wears his heart on his sleeve, right? So more or less for my Gemini males on today, or anyone who identifies with masculine energy, I feel for you all, it's almost coming to a realization, and this is a conversation I've actually been having all week, of when it comes to who you should give your heart to, right? If you have made judgments of your past relationships in the sense of, all women are the same, or all men are the same, or I'm not going to open my heart or give my heart to anyone because of what happened past tense, it's more or less coming to this realization on today that it's not about the people, right? It's more or less about the choice you made in reference to those people, right? So granted, people can be, really jerkish. People could have potentially not cared about you in partnerships or relationships, but the key is that the issue isn't not sharing love or not giving love to a person. And I think even my Gemini women could take something from that too. It's not really so much, well, yeah, okay, thank you, Spirit. You just kind of fast tracked me there. So we're going to go ahead and throw my Gemini gals up in here too. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole point of what you guys are going to come to the realization of today, it's not so much focusing on all people being bad, right? It's more or less a question of your own personal discernment, right? So love isn't bad, relationships aren't bad, marriage isn't bad, right? And a person would come to that conclusion being in absolutes based on past experience. So it's not that the whole system is, to be thrown away. It's more or less what one would need to hone in on today, Gemini, is, did you use your discernment with the people that you chose? So in whatever case that's meant, right? Whatever state you're in your life, whether this is in relation to friendships, co-workers, relationships, what have you, once upon a time, you were a person who wore your heart on your sleeve in a healthy way, meaning you were a bleeding heart, open chest kind of person, very compassionate, very giving, very open, very fluid with your emotions. And I feel that there's some connection in you guys' life that's coming to a head on today, not necessarily saying you and these people, but more or less in the sense of you guys getting an epiphany about it. I love how Geminis always be having me be wordy for y'all. But it's some epiphany you're gonna have in relation to this, where you're realizing that, simply put, the issue was never you giving your heart away, it's who you elected to give it to, if that's making sense. So moving forward on today, it's more or less keeping that in mind with your engagements with people on today. Now it took me a while to get that out. For my Libra people, well, hot diggity doggone. For my Libra people, you guys have the angel of balance. So for my Libra people, I feel for you guys on today, I feel, and this was similar to what I picked up on for you guys last week. What's important, Libra, and I love how Spirit is doing this with Libras. I don't know what kind of life cycle y'all are in, but legit, you guys have been living out the same lesson the entire month of July. And it's almost as if every day Spirit is giving you guys quizzes to make sure that you stay on task and incorporate everything that you've learned up to this point. So what's going to be important for you on today, Libra, is staying present, staying mindful, staying grounded, staying balanced, and staying focused on what it is that you guys have set out to do on this week, right? So whatever the big picture goal is for this week, make sure you stay focused on that, because I feel for you guys, there's the potential of a dark distraction coming in for you guys, and depending on your life situation, because some of you, it may be, a romantic partner, I'm gonna have to pause now because my mom is at my front door. 1 second, Libra, I'm so sorry. Okay, Libra, I'm sorry about that. So anywho, I'm not sure exactly what I was saying, but it was along the lines of the point I was getting to is, for you guys on today, it's important to focus on what you were doing and maintaining that sense of presence and balance, because it's similar to something I said to y'all last week, where I was saying something about like a family member or something along those lines and them kind of acting as a dark distraction. And it kind of reminds me of you guys' June reading too, where it had a lot to do with false responsibilities. So I feel that there's particularly a family member, I mean, it could be a romantic partner, anyone, but I feel they come in a vibe. It's a very codependent energy. And I feel you guys are focusing on what's in your highest good. This week was the plan, but yet another little pop quiz that Spirit gives you is this person kind of coming up, and it ends up becoming this thing of choosing between like should, ought, supposed to's. It's like, because I know when I heard this for you guys before, it was something like a person creating like a crisis, like they come to you in crisis, but then when you stop everything to go help, you find out that it's not really a crisis. It feels a lot like that, but I feel that this is gonna be a person in your life that you're fully aware is completely like very, very codependent. Like the way that this relationship works is you always showing up for them and saving them and being the strength for them, but they don't really reciprocate in that way. You know what I mean? So be mindful of that. For others of you, I feel that there's the potential for you guys to more or less come to that realization today, is from the balance you guys have been practicing in your life, staying present and, pre-planning for things, so on and so forth, I feel with this, the balance you find within yourself, you're going to start to see past tense how imbalanced past, family relationships, friendships, whatever, have been or are, because there's a lack thereof of reciprocity. Now, for my Aquarius people, you guys have the heart chakra on today. This is very interesting. So, my Aquarius people, what's going to be important for you guys on today is more or less being mindful, and it's similar to Gemini here, but it's more in a deeper spiritual context. I feel for my Aquarius people, you guys have kind of taken a stance already to shut off your heart space. I feel a lot of things y'all have been dealing with up until this point, like if things have been kind of tumultuous or cumbersome or something along those lines, I can tell you this is not karma, this is not, spirit is just like, I don't like you, I'm just gonna make your life really difficult. I feel the purpose of all the challenges that you guys have been enduring up to this point is for the sole purpose of opening your heart space, because I feel for you guys, and this is a little deep for a daily, but hey, I'm going with it. But I feel for you guys, similar to what I said with Gemini, it's a very similar to solution for you all. The solution to your problem was never to retreat, retract, or completely shut down or vacate into your mind space, because that's usually what happens when we shut down our heart chakra. We're just going to retreat into our higher chakras. You know what I mean? And any problems we have with insecurity, instability, finances, things of the sort, all of these things kind of get neglected and become unbalanced because it's like a sense of vacating your body, proverbially speaking. And that has a lot to do with instability for some of you. Like I said, y'all, this is too deep for a daily, but instability that's related to family of origin issues or past marriages, past relationships that you've been in. And understandably so, it's more or less you guys have shut down your heart space. However, the point that you guys can possibly come to today, or that you may have already come to the realization of, is where the imbalance lies in your life is in your heart chakra. Now, if you don't know anything about chakras, I would suggest if you simply just Google the heart chakra and you look at symptoms of an imbalanced heart chakra, that's something that would be helpful for you, because it would kind of give you insight into some feelings you guys may resonate with, right? But it's deeper than just cutting yourself off from people and intellectualizing things. It's this chakra being imbalanced or blocked because of situations with family, friends, people, or whatever, as a self-protection kind of thing. This is more or less coming to the head today that that's the symbol of the source of the problem. So I would suggest heavily that you guys research that. If you're an angel person, holla at your boy Raphael, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we're trying to, and I think it's so funny because this is like two sides of the same coin. You have a lot in common with Gemini's energy, in the sense of there being a need to utilize discernment with who it is that you give your heart to. But I feel that you guys are past that point. It's just like, we not about that life no more. Like, I'm straight, right? But the solution is more or less pinging on to Libra's energy of coming to a place of balance, of not shutting down your heart, still opening yourself up, but being even keel in who you give it to via using your discernment and not letting your past to determine your future, in so many words. Now, from a water sign people, Cancer, we have the storm warning in the reverse. So, crisis avoided for my Cancer people on today. I feel that and it's two ways. It's either the storm is literally over, like the worst of whatever you guys have been dealing with is a done deal, whether it's like a history of bad partnerships or not being understood by people or not properly relating to people, or if you guys have come to the realization, which is the energy that's more pronouncing itself, is more or less a change in behavior. I feel that there's it's a consistent way that Cancers who would resonate with this approach situations or people, right? And there was almost an opportunity that's offered where you can either go the same path you've always gone, or you can recognize that you're falling into those behaviors and you can make a decision to take a step back, look at it and be like, okay, I'm doing this right now, and making a decision to go into another direction, right? For some of you, it may very well just be leaving a bad relationship, you know what I'm saying? Or coming to the realization that, you know, the job that you're at, it's kind of time to call it quits. Because I feel with storms, when storms manifest in our lives, they're there to help, right? So it's kind of like a tower moment, if you will. And it's kind of like when we build up those walls to protect ourselves, right? It's the tower coming down to save you from yourself. But I feel with my Cancerians on today, you guys are going to recognize a pattern, the way that you always deal with things, and you're going to divert something that could have turned out to be a lot worse just by simply recognizing those patterns, right? Now, from a Pisces people, we have happy family in the reverse. So for my Pisces people, first thing that comes to me on today, you're a single parent, right? And some of you guys, this is going to be a small percentage. It's a small percentage of you where, and I say small percentage, where this might be one person. It's either like a divorce being final on today, choosing to separate today, or making the decision to leave a partnership or a marriage on today. Or this is going to come up somehow. It very well could end up coming up for you guys in the sense of, and I'm gonna be honest, this can come up in a way of feeling some type of way about it on today. But I feel what's really needed is a redefinition of the situation. So it's more or less not looking, okay, and then some of y'all are gonna meet somebody that has children. That's interesting. Okay, let's go with that. Some of y'all are gonna meet people that have kids, but be cognizant if they just got out of something and, you know, give them some time. We don't want to just be jumping into things. If somebody just got divorced yesterday or something, I'm just saying, throwing that out there, but moving right along. But I feel in two ways, it's more or less, I feel it's almost like it's coming up and it's my Pisces people feeling some type of way. It could be like feeling a little bit of loneliness. It could be kind of fantasizing and desiring to have, you know, that stable, you know, happily ever after type of situation. But the thing that I feel I need to tell you guys on today, there's a need for a shift in perspective, because I feel, much like I said for my air sign people, a shift in perspective needs to happen because one needs to see, much like I said for Cancers, that pattern, right? And it's not saying it in a sense of blame or shame or anything like that. It's almost like I feel it's just a feeling that comes up that makes you feel like you won't ever have that, or you won't ever have that again. And the supportive evidence for this low vibrational thought that could potentially pop up on today is more or less related to one's past experience. So the thing that's important for you guys to take away on today is a change in perspective. If you do feel some type of way being a single parent, and that being like a driving force or a motivation to be in a relationship, I feel that's something that has to be addressed, because what I feel with this is, Pisces, it's a codependent energy. And like I said, this ain't for all Pisces. If you don't resonate, I ain't talking to you. So don't be offended, Pisces, people who are like, I am not codependent. But this is just the energy that's pronouncing itself to me. It's more or less needing to find the strength and power within yourself. And instead of looking at, whether it's desiring a husband, wife, and kids, or if you're a dad or a mom with kids and feeling that you need to have a partner in order for things to be on the up and up, that's an issue. You know what I mean? Because granted, raising kids is totally easy when you have a partner. However, you're not defective because you don't. If that's making sense. So with these feelings that are coming up, the shift in perspective would be questioning this judgment that's been made in a sense of approval. So it's like, what standard are you living up to, and why do you feel like you need to have that in order to be fulfilled, in so many words? Because happiness is not going to be found in an idealistic nuclear family structure, because we still have to take into account the people that are in that idealized nuclear family structure, right? And what the root of this codependency is, why one feels they need to be in a partnership. And this ironically is reminding me of you. It's not really ironic. Reminding me of you guys reading from June 2, where you guys had the karmic relationship card that came up, and I talked to you guys about the dual signs, which are Gemini, Sagittarius, and Pisces, and how a lot of times with these particular signs, they will use relationships as surrogates for the union that should be happening within their inner self. You know what I mean? So I feel that this is kind of pinging on that. So it's like spirit kind of helping you kick some dirt up to get to the root of the issue. Anywho, Scorpio, we have the door to spirit in the reverse. So on today, my Scorpio people, there's a tad bit of a disconnect from spirit. It's not listening to you guys' intuition. I don't want to go as far as saying there's a loss of hope. I just feel it's falling back into bad behaviors, right? It's more or less not saying that my Scorpio people are going to face like an epic crisis or something of the sort on today. I see it in two ways. There's some of you that are being called to elevate to a higher spiritual level, but there's a level of disconnection with your own inner emotional world that's preventing that from happening, right? So it's like a conscious desire to evolve, right? Or for one's problems or, challenges in life to dissipate, but it's not realizing, like similar to what I said with Pisces, it's not realizing that it's not situation or circumstance or need for an epiphany. It's more or less spirit opened the door, right? However, it's not seeing the door as open because it requires this interconnection within oneself. So that also goes back to Aquarius's energy too, and why their heart chakra is so imperative, because your heart chakra, proverbially speaking, would be the door to spirit. So if your heart chakra is shut down or it's off kilter, then it's hard to see, that little narrow path that one walks to the door to spirit, if that makes sense, right? So, and I feel for others of you, if we kind of make that more tangible, if I could give you insight into the why, which may be something that's either going to come up for you guys or something you may want to reflect on today. it's really a lack of trust that's rooted in your partnerships. And I say partnerships, not just romantic. It's, you know, mom and dad, brother, sister, you know, friends. It's a lack of distrust for people, right? And the distrust that one has for others is really a distrust for oneself. So going back to what I said for air signs again, that is really about discernment. It was never about that all people suck, or you can't trust people, or you can't open up to people because all they're going to do is betray you and abuse you. It's not about that. It goes back to the self, in the sense of, with all of these people who did that, did you really truly use your discernment before you chose to open yourself up to those people? Now, granted, if we're speaking about family of origin here, you know, there's a school of thought that says that we pick our parents, but if you don't agree with that school of thought, then you ended up with these people. You know what I mean? So, of course, that would be something that you didn't choose, but it's more or less allowing who and how they are to create a level of distrust for yourself, which gets really, really deep. Not gonna go there, but a level of distrust for yourself. So much like I said for Aquarius, the easiest defense mechanism to that is shutting down your heart. However, the byproduct of shutting down your heart, it closes you off from spirit, which means the door could be open for you to walk through whenever, but not being able to see it. So I feel like the whole premise for you guys on today is something happening where you find this connection in that, and seeing how everything in life is a mirror, right? So how we feel about people is somehow going to interrelate how it is we see spirit. Because we see people, we can touch people, we can talk to people, we can watch people. We can't do none of those things with spirit. You know what I'm saying? So it's understandable in a logical sense of how sometimes there's a lack thereof of trust, but I feel it's more or less admitting that, accepting that, so that you can overcome it, in so many words. Now, from a fire sign people, come on, Leo. We've been doing this for a minute. We have the goddess of the moon for Leo in the reverse, and this is yet again not listening to your intuition. Now, this has been something I've literally been telling Leo since last week, and I can say specifically for you guys, it's in relation to people you guys are dealing with, and I really feel heavily this is romantically. It's not listening to your intuition in reference to this person, and I feel the reason why you're not doing that is because it's like one of those things where you really want it to work. Like, say hypothetically, if you haven't dated a person in a while and then you finally meet somebody, and you just really want it to work because you don't know if you'll get this chance again, or, you know, whatever the case may be, but it's really wanting it to work. So there's a lot of things that are red flags that are screaming out at you, and you're ignoring them, you know what I mean? Because it's almost like trying to rationalize them, like, oh, you know, I'm probably just scared because I haven't dated in a while, or, oh, why am I being so judgmental and so hard on them, right? But I feel specifically for my Leo people, and I'm really not picking up on anything other than that, I feel that this is a person you guys are dealing with, and there's a lot of stuff underneath it all that is like saying red flag, warning, warning, run, and you're not listening to that because it's really wanting it to work. Now, for others of you who aren't dealing with someone, I feel that this is something that happens with you guys a lot. Like, something in you, in your gut, is telling you, you know, don't go there, don't talk to them, or don't get in that car, or something ain't right about that, something ain't adding up, and it's not listening to that. And I think if you guys kind of backtrack, you would see that it's almost like, man, I should have listened to myself type of deal. And I feel that there's an event that's coming up like that on today. And I have literally been telling you guys this since last week, Leo. It came up in the weekend reading. I was like, I don't know who these people are, who this person is. I don't know if it's you being about to get in an Uber and something's just like, don't get in that car. But with this being like the third time this has come up, whatever it is that's nagging at you, please, for the love of God, listen, Leo. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Please don't roar at me. I am sorry. I love you. You know what I'm saying? I just care. All right. Anywho, Aries, you guys have the third chakra. It's a lot of little chakra energy going on here today. So Aries, on today, the thing that's going to be important for you guys is having the confidence to go after something, right? I feel it's something that you guys really want to do, something you really want to pursue, another direction that you guys want to go in. But I feel the issue in reference to this and what's kind of holding you guys back on making whatever this decision is it's a lack of trust for yourself. In your gut, everything in you is inclined to go in this direction, deeply desires to go in this direction, almost to the point that you can taste it, almost. But I feel a sense that you guys need, it's almost like a sense of approval. Like you feel, even though you know it's kind of wanting somebody to co-sign just because it'll make you feel more confident. But I feel the most important thing about this is going back to this lack thereof of confidence, right? And I feel the reason why you guys may be put into this position to where you don't have someone who says that's a really great job, you should go for it, is because it's almost as if, you know, the universe is conspiring with you to back you into a corner to where you have no choice but to trust and believe in yourself and like take a chance type of deal. So it's more or less for your benefit. So the thing I want to say, the biggest takeaway from my Aries people on today is to trust your gut and to go where you feel that your gut is leading you, because you're not being led in the wrong direction and you don't really need anyone to co-sign. You know what I mean? And by all means, if you want to dig a little deeper, it's more or less finding out the root of why one doubts themselves so much, you know? And there's something else I see with that. What is that? It's almost, how can I say this? It would be like how I'm seeing, I don't know if for sure this is a male or a female, but it looks like a male energy to me. But it would be like a kind of shy guy. And there could be a lot of opportunities for him to pursue a person or people or talk to people, but it's a lack thereof of confidence of doing so, because it's more or less kind of already having it in your mind that you'd be rejected, right? But it's more or less yet another thing. It's a challenge thing telling you to take a chance, because you'll never get what you want unless you try. You know what I mean? Now, from a Sagittarius people, we have contract. So from a Sagittarius people on today, some of you guys can be dealing with legalities and lawsuits and court stuff. I don't know if Sagittarius and Pisces got something going on here where, because I've felt a little bit of divorce going on there, custody, child support, and things of the sort. Or even if it's just some sort of business contract that you guys are signing on today. The thing that I would say that's of utmost importance for my Sagittarius people on today, whether this is a literal contract or a proverbial one, meaning some sense of agreement that you're coming into or some sort of commitment that you're making, my best advice on today is take a page out of Libra's book. and be present, sober, conscious, and aware. And I say sober in a proverbial sense, meaning like clear-minded, right? I also want to say that if you guys are in a position on today to where you're the person that people are coming to make a judgment about something, and I mean not necessarily that you're literally a judge, I mean you could be, I don't know, but the thing that's important is to not let your bias get in the way, because I feel that for another group of you, there's people who are going to be coming to you guys on today that want an honest opinion about something, but it's important to not let your biases kind of influence a more clear, unbiased decision that could be made or advice that could be given on today. Because I feel if you kind of get your personal stuff involved, that can kind of muck it up. So it's just important to be clear and sober on today, present in the moment. And in the bigger scheme of things, those of you who are dealing with court stuff, feel like it's gonna work out for you, my friend. So for my Capricorn people, all right, we have financial constraints in the reverse. So Capricorns, you guys might be coming into some money on today, or it's just simply, kind of reminds me of Libra too. It could simply be making a decision to go in a direction to do better. It's coming to a place of stability. If it's not money that's just coming in for you guys, I would more or less see this as making a plan, because I feel the biggest issue for my Capricorn people in reference to their finances was more or less like a mismanagement of finances. So it wasn't really so much that not making enough money, it's not properly managing the money that you were making, in so many words. So I feel on today that that's coming to an end, whether it's money you didn't expect that's coming in, or if it's simply you guys just making a decision to kind of rein back on purse strings, because it's kind of seeing how your debt to income ratio or what have you, how that was kind of off kilter, but it's making the decision to balance that out. So either way it goes, I feel today's going to be a good day for you guys in regards to that. If we dug a little deeper, much like I said with Aquarius and with Scorpio too, with the whole mirror reflection thing, a lot of times the situations and the states that we're in life, because I'm thinking about like when people are like, oh, you know, when I was in that relationship, I was so broke, and as soon as we broke up, it's like suddenly all my money wasn't funny no more, right? But it's not really so much, okay, my left ear's ringing, weird. Anywho, but it's not really so much that leaving the relationship, it's more or less that relationship was a symptom of a deeper problem, if you will, and it's like a mirror reflection of that thing that's off kilter. So any frequency or vibration that we're within, it's always going to manifest without, and a lot of times it will manifest in relationships that lack reciprocity, finances that lack reciprocity, self-care, you know, a myriad of different things where it's a lot of you giving out, but it's not you receiving back what it is that you're putting out. So I think that's something for you guys to keep in mind, just so that, you know, we don't have any repeats or things of the sort, is starting to look for those connections in my woke book of people. Y'all already know what's up. So Taurus, we have the man holding the man holding the coin in the reverse. So Taurus, I would say a similar thing for you, but in the reverse. The thing that's important here, and two things. Okay, so for some of y'all, for some of you guys, you have to watch somebody that's in your life or that may be coming into your life on today, because I get hella snake oil salesman vibes. It's more or less the potential where And it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It's more or less, this could be a job offering or something. It's giving me hella snake oil salesman vibes, where this would be a person where it's like they see they're an opportunist. So it's something that you have that they want. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be financial. And the whole sole purpose of this person coming onto your path, it's with less than stellar means. You know what I mean? It's more or less they're looking out for their own personal gain. So I would most certainly watch out for that. Another thing is, if this is someone that you guys are already dealing with, then that would be why they're here, if that makes sense. It's more or less that if you find your, like, and nobody take this personal, but it's like, if you find that, and this has to be a case by case basis thing, because I know people's situations, but it's more or less for an extended period. We talking pre-Rona, right? If there's someone you're taking care of that's an adult, meaning like you're in a relationship with somebody and you're always paying for everything, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like y'all aren't like married or nothing. It's just like, you know, y'all are dating. Worst case scenario, y'all don't even have a title, but it's always funding this person financially. It's needing to see that. And I don't want to say what you should or shouldn't do about it, but there's a need for that, of like seeing the inequality in the partnership. And I mean, even so, if this is a friend or a family member where it's always giving money, 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 but there's nothing ever really given back in return. And it's more or less, the thing is, the person's hanging around not because they care, it's because what they're getting out of the situation, if that's making sense. So that's something to be cognizant of. Another thing that I would say, as far as like job stuff, be very leery of offers. Watch your purse, watch your wallet. Don't leave your debit card just anywhere. You know what I mean? Be very cognizant of that, because I feel it might not even be someone that you know. I mean, it could literally be something. It's like identity theft type of vibes that I get with that. So be careful with your stuff. Like just kind of leaving your stuff out places on today. And the other thing that would probably be the most mundane of all of this is overspending, right? And this overspending, Taurus, would be overcompensating for something. It's feeling as if you're lacking in some area, and it's spending more money than you really need to spend. But the sole purpose for that is because you're trying to compensate for some perceived lack. So it's kind of like, and no offense to my older guys out there, but it's kind of like a midlife crisis card. You know what I mean? Like when a guy starts to get older and they start to kind of lose their vitality, it's like they get that sports car to, like, you know, make them feel something again. It's kind of like that. So it's feeling as if you're missing something, and it's using like shopping or, you know, buying stuff or whatever to try to compensate for that thing that you're missing. So if you find on today, you're feeling some type of way and you want to just go spend money, be cognizant of that and address the real issue, like what it is you're really feeling. Now, lastly, my Virgo people, we have strategy. So what's going to be important for my Virgo people on today is a plan of action. So whatever it is that you guys are going in the direction of, what it is that you're desiring, even if it's something as simple as, I want to be married one day. You know what I mean? Create a strategy. You know what I'm saying? Sign up for eHarmony. I don't know. I'm just saying. But whatever it is you guys are heading towards, you want to make sure that you have a strategy. Now for you guys, I do feel an energy of expansion for you guys. So I feel that there's more or less like an underlying like spiritual wave that you guys can hop on and take full advantage of. However, your end of the bargain, Virgo, is a tangible action plan. So I say this all the time because I'm a practical spiritualist. I'm not really big on, just sitting and calling things into existence and like, don't meet me halfway, spirit, meet me 100% of the way. 80-20, because I sat here, thought about some stuff, visualized it, now you do the other 80% type of deal. I like to have a nice little plan, you know what I'm saying? But I feel that's what you guys are needing. It's not just desiring, not just wishing, not just hoping. It's more or less setting out the bounds to get yourself to be in the right place. So hypothetically, if we made this super, super mundane, it's Virgos want to purchase a home, right? Yes, it's super dope to have a dream board. Look at your dream board, visualize your dream board, imagine yourself in all the houses in the dream board type of deal. That's super cool. But if you don't ever get your credit in order, right? If you don't save no money, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it kind of would be pointless. I mean, unless you got people like that, somebody die and you inherit a house, you know what I'm saying? But if you want something, it's more or less you meeting your manifestation halfway by taking care of what needs to be taken care of, like what is within your human power, you know what I mean? To go in that direction. So today for you guys is really about whatever it is that you're calling into your life. It's you guys creating that plan of action or the beginning stages of that to get there, to ensure your success, my friend. So that has been you guys' reading for today. I hope that it helps my beautiful humans. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you to all of you guys out there that timestamp. I love your face dearly. I'm so thankful for you. But I will see you guys again on tomorrow. Love your face.